Finding the location of reading answers is very problematic. In this video, I'm going to solve this problem by sharing a 4-step method with you all, which I call hunt and hit method. So let's see in the video that how we have to find the location of the questions. Number 1 step is underlining the keywords. What are the keywords actually? I call it subject, verb and object. Identify what the subject is in the question, means about which they are talking, about what they are talking actually. Who is the main person in the sentence? Second is the verb. You have to underline the verb because verbs are the only things which are replaced into the passages. In reading, words are not same. For example, important is written in the question, crucial would be written in the passage. You have to know about these things. Underline the verb carefully and then start thinking that how can that verb be written in the passage. For example, important is written, you should think of the synonyms of important in your mind. Okay. Then the third thing is scanning. Just scan the passage. You just don't have to read all the lines very carefully and understand everything from that. Just see for the keywords that you have underlined into the question. Now let's see this whole thing while doing a question on the book. Here we'll start with the questions and find the location. We'll start with second question, not the first one, because we know that first one would be in the starting only. So here they are saying the study done by Liu and his colleagues compared different groups of polar bears. Our number 1 step is underlining the keywords. So what are the keywords over here? So here is a study going on. We'll underline study. Liu and his colleagues, these people should be present. Compared different groups of polar bears. The verb over here is compared, means they are comparing different groups. One word different is over here. Different can be also written as unique, distinct, okay, because they are different. You need to know the synonyms if you want to get an extraordinary score in reading. For this, I have run a vocabulary series also. I will paste the link of that in the description box. Just check it out. I have uploaded more than 50 or 60 videos in that. That would be very helpful for you all. Groups of polar bears. Okay, so let's go and find this one out in the passage. So over here, we are having a 2014 study. The word study has come over here. It was our keyword. We found the first thing. Sheeping Liu and colleagues. Liu and colleagues is also here. They compared the genetic structure of polar bears. Word compared is also over here. Structure of polar bears with that of their closest relatives from a warmer climate, the brown bears. We found the location that they are comparing with their closest relatives, that are brown bears. Now we have found the location. The answer would be over here only. You don't have to go downside. Just stay over here. In these lines, the answer is there. So now the thing remains is the judgment. How to judge the answer. Over here in the question, they written different groups of polar bears. Different groups means more than 2. Yes or no? More than 2 groups like brown bear, polar bear, simple bear. Okay, those kind of things. But here only 2 kind of bears are being compared. That is brown bears and the other one are polar bears. So this is contradicting our statement actually. This is contradicting our statement. So the answer will be false for this. Okay. Understand the things completely. After that, third, Liu and colleagues were the first researchers to compare polar bears and brown bears genetically. So, were they the first researchers? This is the main keyword. Are they the first researchers to compare them? Now, let's find it out. First researchers, this word can be written as initial researchers. Okay. Researchers can be also written as scientists in this. Now, let's find it out. It will be ahead of this. This allowed them to determine the genes that have allowed polar bears to survive in one of the toughest environments on Earth. Liu and colleagues found the polar bears had a gene known as APOB. I think they are not talking about that because the other question has started, that is about bad cholesterol. The next question has started. So, when one question is not there and the other question starts, At that time, subsequently, the question that would be in the middle will be a not given. I have told in many videos also. In true false not given, go by reading two questions together. For example, you don't find this one and you find this one first, then this one will be not given. Okay. So this is not given because the word first researchers has not been found. Okay. If in the reading in true false not given any particular word is missing, the answer will always be not given. Okay. Now let's go to the next one also. Let's find that. Polar bears are able to control their levels of bad cholesterol by genetic means. They are able to control. Control can be written as handle, determine, balance can also be written because they are balancing the levels, okay, themselves. So I made these keywords in the mind. Now let's go to the location. I think that will be ahead of the last question that we found. Here it is. This allowed them to determine. The word determine came over here. Na? I told control can also be written as determine. The genes that have allowed polar bears to survive in one of the toughest environments on Earth. Liu and his colleagues found polar bears had a gene known as APOB, which reduces levels of low density lipoproteins, LDLs, a form of bad cholesterol. Our second keyword is also over here that has come. In humans, mutations of these genes are associated with increased risk of heart disease. Polar bears may therefore be an important study model to understand heart disease in humans. So you got to know that they can handle their level. They can reduce their level, increase their level by themselves. So the words matched, the sense matched, the answer will be true for this one. Okay, the answer will be true. So this is how you find true, false, not given. Now let's go to the blanks also so that we can particularly understand that how blanks are done. So for the blanks we have reasons why polar bears should be protected. Okay, read this heading very carefully because this most of the times tells you many things about the answer. Word reasons has been written over here. Reason can be written as factors. Okay. Why polar bears should be protected. Protected can be written as saved. Okay. Now let's go for this one. We left our last answer over here in these paragraphs. Like over here, we found the last true, false, not given. In these passages, they are talking about any health condition. You just have to scan these. Don't understand every line particularly. Scan and find the words like factors, protection, save. Okay. Here we find humanity certainly have their importance in our conservation factors, but these should not only be the factors. The word factors has been found over here. We tend to want to protect animals. Okay. Protect also has been found. Means we have reached the location. Bears, on the other hand, seem to be perceived. Perceived means thought of. Means people have a thought of them as stupid. Okay. And in many cases, violent. Two attributes are given to the bears. One is stupid and the one is violent. In the first question, people think of bears as unintelligent. Word unintelligent can be written as stupid also. So stupid is already given. And dash. But we have the other attribute. Other one is violent. So the answer will be violent for this. And also understand that what is the nature of the question. Here the question was negative. Unintelligent and dash. Means the second word also will be negative. Na? Violent is a negative word over here. Next question is, in Tennoji Zoo, a bear has been seen using a branch as a dash. As a dash means is using the branch as something. Tennoji Zoo is the main keyword over here. Let's see. Okay. A male bear called Gogo in Tennoji Zoo, Osaka, has even been observed making use of a tool to manipulate his environment. The bear used a tree branch on multiple occasions to dislodge a piece of meat hung on out of his reach. He's using branch, making use of a tool used to manipulate his environment. He's using the branch as what? As a tool to manipulate his environment. So the answer will be tool for this. This allowed him to knock down some. Knock down. The word knock down means put something off. Okay, put something down. Okay. What he put down? Dislodge a piece of meat. Word dislodge means knock down. So what he knocked down? Piece of meat. Many students will write whole word, piece of meat, but we only have to write one word. In piece of meat, if I will not write meat, then piece of will not make sense. If I will not write of, then piecemeal meat will not make sense. But if I will exclude both of these and write meat, it will make sense. Okay, make sense by fitting the words. Meat makes sense. So